Hey, Steve Basic Architect. So, we're out on Martha's Vineyard today, and I got a treat for you because we're going to shoot some videos at a project that's finishing up, but for the same builder client. Now, Farley is not only the builder of these projects, but he's also the client and the owner of these projects. But before we go see the house that he's wrapping up construction, I'm going to show you the accessory structure that we built a handful of years ago that's to Passive House standards. There's a lot of cool details here. We'll do a couple tours on the outside. There's just a lot to see. It's only, I don't know, it's like 800 or 850 square feet. We were highly limited because it's an accessory structure. Now, Farley wanted the Passive House inspiration in this structure, so one of the things that we had to do with this was figure out a way to insulate it to Passive House standards, but not encroach on the 800 square feet. When we talked to the building inspector and asked him how he was going to measure that, he said he'll basically go around the perimeter of the foundation. So, we'll start there. As you can see, we're significantly cantilevered out from the foundation here. And it's actually about 15 inches or so. What we have here is, these are 14-inch floor trusses that are screwed to the wall and basically held out here. It's called the Larson truss system, and that's, basically hung on the outside here, and it encapsulates 14 inches of insulation. So across this wall section here, we're probably in like an R75-ish, R76 range. But while our value is important, also understand that the air tightness of this house, 0.6 is Passive House standards, but this house is at something like around 0.34 or 0.35, somewhere in there. So it's about roughly half of the Passive House standard. You can see here, you get a sense of that depth of the cantilever wall system. Now again, we did that because this allows us to put all this insulation out here, but none of that insulation comes at the penalty of encroaching on our 850 square foot limit. So, we did a nice detail here. You can see we have a nice copper pan that it comes up and it's totally flashed to the wall system there, and you can see it has the edge. It tucks nicely up here and it fully integrates with the drainage system under our sill here. The windows here, these are Macro-Win. They're a aluminum faced wood window that's triple glazed. It has the Saint-Gobain glass system in here, very similar to Schuco that you see me talk about a lot. These are just a wood framed version of the Schuco here, and they're made by, again, a company called Macro-Win. They're out of Detva, Slovakia. I've actually been to their factory where they put them together. It's quite the trip there. But yeah, we have that nice copper sill here, drains that water, kicks it out. You can see our foundation here kicks that water out. Also understand here, you can see we have a perimeter, I call it a ground gutter. So we actually have a drainage pipe that's in the ground here that goes around the house that is picking up any of the water. We don't have gutters on the house, but it's picking up that water and draining it away. And out here on the vineyard, I mean, on the rainiest of days, you could pour a bucket of water in the foundation hole here and it would pretty much disappear. It's great soil. The water just disappears. If I go down here, and we'll give you the expanded view of the house. These are all Atlantic white cedar shingles on the wall. What you're seeing up above here, all of that plank work is Alaskan yellow cedar that we just let dry, age naturally there. So it turns to that driftwood gray. You can see the slats in the soffit there. This is a fully vented roof system. There's, I don't think we have a whole lot. There's a few touches of spray foam in this house, but most of it is all blown rock wool. The whole 14 inches here is all blown rock wool insulation. In the attic, we have roughly about R80 blown insulation up there. And then as we come around the side here, you can see we have one of the vents here. We have a twin down there, but these are basically the vents for our Zender ERV. You've heard me talk a lot about them. I have a few videos out there where we talk about them specifically. Go check it out. But the energy recovery ventilators basically responsible for the air quality inside there. So, you know, one thing to notice on the sides here, on both the east, west, and the north side, notice that we don't have a lot of fenestration. And that's intentional, being a passive house. We want to use that sun's orientation to our favor and be able to use that heat energy. We're in, you know, climate zone 5 up here. It's on the lower end of 5, but nonetheless, it's up there on that, still in climate zone 5, still a heating dominated climate here. So we didn't want a whole lot of windows, and not only that, 850 square feet, we didn't want to give up a whole lot of space inside, wall space, because we didn't have a whole lot of it. So anyways, see our window there. Up above, you can see that 14-inch floor truss only went up to about 12 feet. And then we took it back, and we have our 2x6 wall up above that, and we have 4 inches of polyiso. So roughly, I don't know, what's that, about R25 or so outboard of our zip air barrier. You know, in the building science world, people would call this the perfect wall, because our air barrier is pretty much in the center of the wall, thermally, plus or minus. But you can see it gives it that little retract look that helps with the details of, you know, making it look like a comfortable residence, but it still kind of maintains that utility form of simply being a barn out here in the pastures. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed that video. Stay tuned. We're going to go around to the south side, because there is a lot to talk about there in terms of what's happening. Passive house, south orientation, outdoor rooms. We got it all coming at you. So stay tuned for that. Until next time, I'm Steve Basic Architect. We're out on the Vineyard.